Well, we are live again for the however many times I've been live this week. Welcome to the Barely Protestant YouTube channel. I'm Father James, and I figured I would at least do a little bit of this to just talk about it. But yeah, it turns out that the assassin of Charlie Kirk is not himself, quote, transgender, but uh, the I'm trying to think of the proper term, but the uh, fornicating partner of someone who is transgender. And I was busy earlier this day, so doing real life things. So I didn't actually find out about it until relatively recently, and I decided I should probably do a little bit of something about this. But let me go ahead and share the article that is coming out. Where is it? Right here. So this is from Fox News, and the title, I'll just read it. I'm not going to censor myself. If it gets shut down, it gets shut down. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin lived with transgender partner who is now cooperating with FBI, officials say. So, exclusive. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin lived with his transgender partner. Senior level FBI officials told Fox News Digital. Now, the first question is then, well, wait a minute. Just because they're living together, that doesn't mean anything, right? I mean, you'll I will say, for instance, I actually had a transgender roommate when I was in college, and that was an interesting time, but so my thought was, well, wait a minute, just because he's a quote transgender does not mean that they're like you know doing stuff together. But let's go ahead and read on. Let's continue on. Bureau officials confirmed that Tyler Robinson, who's the assassin, alleged assassin, but assassin, 22, was in a quote romantic relationship with the unnamed person. The name that I've seen is Lance Twiggs is the name that I've seen. So I've seen that in other places, but not this source right here. Who is a male quote transitioning to a female, and that they shared an apartment in St. George, Utah. Those FBI officials told Fox News Digital that Robinson's partner is fully cooperating with the FBI's investigation. One FBI official told Fox News Digital the individual has been, quote, extremely cooperative, and said the person, quote, had no idea Robinson was allegedly planning to assassinate the Turning Point USA founder. The person is not currently accused of any criminal activity in connection with the assassination. Well, I am thankful that this person has decided to cooperate with the officials, the FBI officials and such, if that is actually the case. Seems to be the case, so I am thankful for that. Continuing on, FBI officials told Fox News Digital that the FBI had text messages and other communications between Robinson and his partner that helped FBI agents zero in on Robinson. Officials said the FBI took evidence from their apartment, including computers, which have been or as okay evidence, yeah, which has been sent to Quantico for review. Fox News Digital has learned. So good that there's cooperation happening. What's interesting to me is that uh, so a little backstory for me. When I was in college, I went to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University. I graduated in 2016, and I personally knew almost a dozen, I want to say, quote transgender people between work and college. During my time in college, I knew almost a dozen, and not all at the same time, but I knew a lot. There was that roommate I had, although he was not fully quote transitioning until after like he left. Um, and it is a he who thought that he was a she or whatever, and he left in part because he realized that me I and the others were probably not going to take kindly to the idea of him claiming that he's a female. So he ended up leaving the place that we were renting. He was going into that direction. We could sort of tell, but anyway, others, classmates, roommates of friends. Let's see who else. I'm trying to think. I think there were two coworkers. Definitely one coworker I had. Anyway, so this is kind of all over the place. And why was I bringing that up? I don't remember why I was bringing that up, but anyway, yeah, I was having to deal with a lot of this sort of stuff in college, and it was incredibly frustrating. And I would try to reason with them. Oh, that's why I was bringing it up. So I know people who are transgender, or not actually transgender, but think they're transgender, and some of them were, well, at least until today, uh, friends with me on social media or following me on social media. And I ended up getting into an argument with a few of them on one of their posts, claiming that the alleged assassin, was actually some sort of right wing groiper. And very clearly, obviously not. If you look at the statements that were made, that were put on the casings and such, this is very obviously not some sort of right winger. It's literally anti-fascist. Two of them were anti-fascist, and two of them were uh, fornicating type stuff, like furry type fornicating stuff. Shocker that the pictures that we see, I think I put it as the picture post for this one, um, is of the transgender person wearing a furry outfit. It looks like that, at least. So I I told one of them, I said, I'm willing to bet $50 that this person is a left wing radicalist. I didn't even say like transgender, but I was like some sort of left wing radicalist. And of course, the person was not willing to take me up on that bet. But anyway, regardless, yeah, this is no one is shocked and surprised. No one is actually genuinely shocked and surprised that this is the case. What's so funny, um, is with these people that I'm talking about, who ended up, of course, unfriending me, which, okay, one of them gave me like a long multi-paragraph like message of like, well, you were always nice to me or whatever, but like something's changed. I didn't read it all. It just I'm like, no, I've always been the same person. I've rejected this stuff. um like the change I've had is that I don't uh I'm much more vocal about now. Like you already knew my position on these things, right? But you've not actually sort of repented, and I'm bringing out the reality now. I'm not going to hide away from the reality. So anyway, uh, the person then sent that stuff and then unfriended me. I'm like, okay, whatever. I hope you repent. I told him that. And him, yes. If you are watching, you are he. I'm not interested in playing those games. And by the way, even at my sort of quote most tolerant towards transgenderism, when I was quote transgenderism when I was in college, I never played their pronouns game. I never played their oh well, they identify that way. I was respectful to them, but at the same time, I am not playing those games. Like I'm not going to give in to your delusion. Anyway, this is a delusion. Oh, awesome, superb ace. Which prayer book is it? Is it the 1928? Is it the 79? Is it the 2019? Is it this one? Does it just say common prayer right there? Anyway, as you're answering that, let's go ahead and continue on. Oh, but oh yeah, they were saying like, oh, it's probably some, it's actually some right wing person because the person is white and a male and comes from a Christian family. I'm like, every single white person I know who is some radicalist came from a Christian family. Actually, a person I know who's some radicalist basically came from a Christian family. So like, that is not news. that because he comes from a Christian family, therefore he must be a Christian conservative. Like, that's just insanity. Yeah, so per base, let me know which edition of the prayer book it is, if you don't mind. I really am curious. So continuing on. So FBI officials told. Oh yeah, we already did that one. Uh, the FBI declined to comment on whether Robinson's partner would be charged with a crime. Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense, of course. The FBI is investigating a record number of tips. An FBI spokesperson said, "Every connection, every group, every link will be investigated, and anyone involved in this matter, anywhere in the world they might be, will be brought to justice." Amen. The apartment Robinson and his partner shared is in the same southern Utah community Robinson's parents live in, which is, it's concerning. It's sad. Um, not, you know, let me just point something out right now. Going back to the college thing, I had seen this so many times, and I've seen this with family, not family members, but with uh, people at parishes I know, and I'm not talking about, if anyone from my parish is watching from St. Francis. Hi, first of all. But so I'm not talking about anyone here at my at St. Francis here. Uh, Everyone has been wonderful, but I know parents from previous parishes from other places where they brought their children up as strongly as they could in the faith, or maybe what would be considered on the surface reasonably strong in the faith. Um, and uh, I've seen radicalism happen. I'm thinking of one in particular. It's very sad. Going from a very strong Christian family, with issues, of course, every family has issues, but then going through college, not even finishing college. I think she has finished college by now, but like even before she finished college, going into radical leftist stuff. And so be careful. Hey, Cameron, we're talking about people who are in college. You're in college now. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I hope you're listening to this. Not that I have any fear about you, but it's just a reality that we all know about. We need to be careful with college. We need to be able to defend our faith. So, and by the way, anyone who is in college right now, if you have professors being challenging you in the faith, please ask me the questions and I will do what I can to answer them. I had to deal with this myself. I was one of those students from 2012 to 2016. I was at MTSU, and from 2012 or so, I was in my agnostic state. 2011, 2012. And I had questions and I didn't know how to answer them. So when I was going to college, I decided to pursue a degree in philosophy. All of my professors, pretty much, almost without exception, were Marxists. And if they were not atheists, they were essentially functionally atheists. So, wait, what? I'm not sure. It doesn't say which one should I get. By C.K. Robert. There's not going to be one by C.K. Robertson. I will go ahead and just like bring a link if you want. I'll do an Amazon link. Just look up 1928 Book of Common Prayer. The first one that came up in it was 1928 Jewelry for Women. It's just like really odd. All right, here we go. Just look up 1928 Book of Common Prayer. Nope, wrong. There we go. Now we got it. Hopefully that'll fit. We'll see. There you go. There's the. I think that's it. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, it's multiple. Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. Why can't it be? Oh my goodness. Why can't it be simpler than that? Just look up on Amazon 1928 Book of Common Prayer. It's just add the four numbers 1928. Yeah, it's going to be that one, as long as it says like. So if you look at the APA the Anglican Provinces of America, they have a bunch of solid 1928 prayer books. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you are going to get bombarded by these sorts of things in college, especially a leftist college. But honestly, even in a Christian college, as I recall, the person I was just talking about, she went to at least a vaguely Christian college. It was like a Roman Catholic one or something like that. Um, but yeah, you need to make sure that you are staying strong in the faith. It's not easy, especially in college. It's not easy in just your average day, but like especially in college, it's not easy. Let's go ahead and continue on with this. Uh, where were we at? Okay, the apartment Robinson and his partner shared. Okay, it is approximately 4 hours away from Utah Valley University, that's where Robinson allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. Kirk was killed Wednesday as he spoke to a crowd at the school's campus in Orem. Authorities believe a single shot was fired from the roof of the building some 200 yards away. Kirk was 31 and the married father of two young children. Now, I want us to listen to this. This is incredibly, I think, important right here um, with what's being said here. Let's see. Moments before Robinson allegedly shot Charlie Kirk, an audience member asked Kirk, "Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?" Kirk replied, "Too many." Kirk was then asked, "Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?" Kirk replied, "Counting or not counting gang violence." Kirk was then assassinated. Now, I'm not going to argue necessarily that uh, the scumbag was waiting intentionally for uh, Charlie Kirk to have a question about transgenderism or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was waiting for something like that, or if he was like, "Oh, this is it. This is my point to do it. I should do it right now." I don't think it was just mere coincidence. It's like he just so happened to have been ready at that point. I think he was looking for a time, and then he's like, "Oh wow, this question. Let me do it right now." It's horrifying that it's it's horrifying that he was being proven right in this issue with and I'm not laughing, please forgive me. I'm not like laughing, obviously it's a horrifying thing, but like this is the reality, that he was shot and killed at this point by the gunman right when he was answering a question about transgender, quote, transgender shooting. We've had a spate of them. We've had quite a few of these happening over the past few years. And going back to my now former Facebook transgender quote transgender friend, um, the just a few days before this, when the school shooting happened, that horrible shooting that happened, what was a week or two ago, he had been posting about how, oh, we're getting blamed for all these shootings and it never happens. It's only two the entire, basically the entire history of school shootings or whatever, the entire history of shootings. I'm like, well, no, there have been a lot more than just those two, but and now this is happening, and that person has unfriended me and again sent a very long message to me. I haven't read it all. I read a little bit of it, but I'm not terribly interested in sort of seeing what happens there because, I'll pray for him, keep him in prayer. His name is Patrick. That's not the name that he has on social media, though, so I'm not revealing much at all. Let's go ahead and continue on. A law enforcement source told Fox News Digital that Robinson's father, who ultimately turned him into authorities, told the FBI that he recognized his son from surveillance video images, which FBI Director Kash Patel directed it to be made public as the 33-hour manhunt unfolded. Source told Fox News Digital that when Robinson arrived at his father's home, he said he wanted to kill himself. The source told Fox News Digital that the father spoke with a minister the family knew before turning in his son. Like that praise God for the father doing this. That obviously can't be easy, but he very quickly did the right thing. So whatever issues were with the upraising of this child, whatever issues there are with that, the good thing is that he did make things right as much as he could, and had his son turned in. All right. Oh, there we have a few things here. Let me go ahead and look through these. Sorry, I've got a bit of a runniness right now. The link works. Hope everyone is holding up okay. This has been a hard time for many. Yes, please say your prayers tonight if you have not already. Evening prayer and Compline is really, though both are really good. Compline is not in the prayer book, but at least the 28. But it is in the 2019. Bog Cat Y. It is so tragic and disturbing to see the level of indoctrination and Marxist ideologies in our educational systems. Canada is deeply entrenched. Yeah, it's deeply entrenched in here too. My university, Middle Tennessee State University, is that I went to. It's in the South. It's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and my professors were radical Marxists. I mean, they were pushing for this transgenderism stuff back in 2012 and 2013, almost certainly before then. I actually, one of my first classes, I took a few classes at a community college in Florida, before I moved up to Tennessee, and that's a long story. But anyway, so we're talking about like 2010 or so. I remember having debates with fellow students about transgenderism, about sodomy, about uh, uh, incest, and all of that was considered okay. Incest. The one caveat was, well, as long as it's not procreative, then that's okay. It's disgusting. Yeah, I'm very aware of that. You're talking about the dangers in college. Yeah, I'm very worried about how people's souls can get impacted when at university. If not direct liberalism and atheism, many still become practical atheists. Yes, I saw that so often. Mine is called The Book of Common Prayer, a Spiritual Treasure Chest. That is not. That's probably a book about the Book of Common Prayer. The Book of Common Prayer, a Spiritual Treasure Chest, selections annotated and explained. Yeah, that's definitely not. Oh, Desmond Tutu. Ugh. Dude, Catherine Jefferson Shorey. Oof. Yeah, I'm sorry that you got that one. That's just yeah, that's not a good book. I'm so sorry. Yeah, just get the Book of Common Prayer. Just put Book of Common Prayer 1928. It doesn't have an author written or anything like that. It's this. This is my favorite prayer book. There's a bittersweet history to this one. There's a lot of love and a lot of pain, but I love this prayer book. I have done lots of weeping this week and may consider finding a church to attend. Haven't gone regularly for many. Oh, please, Bog, please go back to church. If there's a good, solid Anglican church, please, especially, please check it out. If you need help, please message me. If you're friends with me or something on Twitter, X, or Facebook or Instagram, but preferably the best one would be actually just email me. It's barelyprotestant at gmail.com. I think I've got it on my channel's notes or whatever. But yeah, prayers for everyone. Yeah. Oh dang. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you did that. Just don't do that. The source told, oh yeah, we already did that. Meanwhile, the rifle that the FBI believes was used to kill Kirk contained ammunition inscribed with anti-fascist messaging and pro-sodomy, implicitly pro-transgender stuff, pro-furry. And by furry, I don't just mean like you like, dressing up as animals, but like the other stuff, the darker stuff that goes with that. Utah Governor Spencer Cox confirmed the messaging at a news conference Friday, saying investigators discovered inscriptions on casings found with a bolt action rifle near the campus. One used casing and 3 unused casings contained the writings, Cox said. News of the ammunition inscriptions was first shared on social media Thursday morning in a preliminary bulletin attributed to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. This is a developing story. But yeah, let's see if I can really quickly find those shell casings. I don't know if there are pictures of them. Tyler Robinson shell casings writings. All right, here's another one from Vox. Let's see what they have. I'm going to try to be careful with this because some of it's a little, at least one of them is quite concerning. Let's go ahead and find this again. Where is it? Screen share. Share screen. Where are we at? Messages found. It's Fox again. I didn't do that on purpose. But usually the other places are not interested in sort of having this. Let's see. The one that was shot out was notices bulges. OWO. What's this? And it's sort of like a shocked face kind of thing. And I don't think I need to explain that to anyone here. Hopefully, there's sexually, it's what it sounds like. I'll say, very clearly, and then Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao Ciao Ciao. That is I didn't know about this, but I found out about it that this was an anti-fascist song. I think like during World War II or something like that, or maybe before, from the Italians. So this is very clearly an anti-fascist, thing. Third one, I missed one. I'll get to that one last. But here, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. It is whatever that one is. And then last, hey, fascist, catch. That one is very obvious. Now, and then there's the up arrow, right arrow, 3 down arrows. This one is apparently Helldivers 2. I've never played Helldivers 2. I've never even heard of Helldivers 2. Not that I'm like anti-gaming or something. I do play video games from time to time, but like it's that's not something I'm familiar with. I didn't even know that was a game. So many people are trying to argue that these were not that the guy is not an anti-fascist left-wing crazy person, but really just some sort of right-winger person. Going on with that, though, Candace Owens and all the usual suspects have actually tried to argue that he was, hired. At least Candace Owens implied these things. I'll be more fair, but who killed or who ordered Tyler Robinson, the quote alleged assassin, to kill Charlie Kirk. And it's like, okay, you're going to say the Jews. Let me guess, Candace. You're going to say the Jews. Who burnt my toast this morning? The Jews. I mean, it reminds me of that Babylon Bee article where Candace Owens is playing Clue, and she just yells out right away before the game even begins, "It's the Jews! The Jews did it!" And like, we haven't even started the game yet, Candace. Like, what are you doing? Candace Owens is a grifter. Candace Owens is an insane person, if she is not a grifter, and she should not be respected or listened to. She has demonstrated quite strongly that she is not to be listened to. I mean, when Nick Fuentes sounds like the better person than you, with that interview, I only saw parts of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but like it's pretty bad from what I did see. Then that's pretty interesting. Yeah. You were raised in the Anglican Church here in Canada. Well, the Anglican Church in Canada has got a lot of problems. So if you find a conservative, traditional Anglican church, it's wonderful. Ordered, thanks, awesome. Yeah, make sure it's the 1928. I mean, the 2019 is also good. Like, I prefer the 1928. Well, it depends, honestly. Like, the the 2019 is quite solid. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here it is. If you get the traditional language edition, that's this one right here. Anyway, so yeah, just I wanted to send out this information. Hopefully everyone has been not sort of obsessively checking their phones and all that sort of stuff throughout this entire thing. Make sure that we are making sure that our lives are grounded in reality, not in computers. So read a book, literally touch grass. Go. I mean, I've got to go back on the computer after this here and finish up some stuff. I've got to finish up some Sunday morning adult formation uh, uh, things for my parish. Adult formation is our Sunday school class. By the way, Cameron, you need to start coming to adult formation. I'm shaming you. I'm publicly shaming you. Okay. Actually, have you been coming? I don't remember. I just forgot now. I think you've been coming on enough. You should come more. I'll say that. Sorry, I gotta shame you, Cameron. Sorry. Let me know if I'm joshing you too much, Cameron, on that. I've been attending an LCMS parish, but I'm going to check out an Anglican service too. Yeah, make sure you check out a good Anglo-Catholic or high church at the very least Anglican parish. Um, but yeah, some people have asked, quite a few people have asked me actually, if I am going to record uh, the sermon I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And I am not a fan of recording and live streaming sermons. Wait, let me just check. I only went once, and that was because I was 5 minutes early. Well, I'm shaming you now. All right, Cameron, I'm publicly shaming you. Shame, shame, shame. No. But the I'll say this: I'm not a fan, and this is sort of now me just doing somewhat stream of consciousness kind of thing. I am not a fan of live streaming your sermons. Now, I'm not saying everyone who does it is a sinner, should repent. I'm not even necessarily saying that they should not do it. Maybe there is going to come a time where I do something like that, but I don't like it for the same reason that, and others, but one being the same reason that the Supreme Court. Not that I'm thinking I'm as high as the Supreme Court. Don't get me wrong, but the Supreme Court does not videotape their cases and such. They've just only recently started doing like audio, but not video stuff. And the reason for that is that they don't want this to be performative in that sense. I mean, it's good that our legislature is recorded and live streamed and all that, but I mean, the good that comes with it is also accompanied. The good that it has is also accompanied with the bad of just this sort of like, oh, I want to get viral, and that's how I get famous as a congressman. So let me, get out my angry eyes, Cory Booker, or whatever, and tears of rage. That's to this day. That happened like 10 years ago, and like to this day, whenever I think of Cory Booker, I just think of tears of rage. Yeah. It's just maybe one day I should just do like a collage of all of the fake anger that comes from Cory Booker alone. It's adorable. It's just hilarious. I love it. Um, but let's see. Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about that recently. Perhaps you could do a transcript of the sermon instead. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a transcript that might work. Oftentimes sermons are published, homilies are published, so I might do something like that. But I'm just not a big fan of I not that I don't think that I'm certainly not intentionally going to like try to be bombastic to get clicks and stuff like that. But what's going to happen is that I will constantly be noticing that my homilies are live streamed or recorded, and that's going to affect what I say. And I don't like that. My homilies are for my parishioners. My homilies are for the people who are faithful at the church, or who are visiting. just anyone who is there worshiping with us. And a homily is always connected to the concept, the context of the worship itself. And if you're only engaged in the worship through the homily, that I don't think is a proper way to do it. So yeah. Are there any other sort of things? Let me see. I think that's everyone thing. I'm going to go ahead and finish up what work I have to do, and just please keep our nation in prayer. Those of you who are outside the U.S., keep me in prayer. Keep my parish in prayer. Pray for your pastor. Pray for your priest. Pray for your parish. Um, Pray for your family. Pray for the nation. Um, yeah. I hope you all have a good evening, and God bless.